am the oracle Apollo. Come share your light with me. These messages I follow, restoring balance unto thee. Do not be afraid, you're part of saving grace. Do not hesitate, let's reignite your faith. Divine encounters, alive. Divine encounters, our lives design. I am the oracle Apollo.
Leave it to me to hit the wrong button. And you're watching Divine Encounters. I am your hostess, Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful November night. I have my hot tea right in my hands, just warming my little mittens up. And make sure you have your high quality H2O with you, because this is not a passive viewing experience, but this is a TV show that's going to allow you to actually shift your energy by the end of this program. So make sure you have your water to assist the electricity to move and flow through you to your wealth, health, and prosperity. Today is supernatural story time, and I'm super pumped because we're actually going to be bringing someone who's actually been on the show before, and that's really exciting. You guys know that I bring someone different on every single week, but one of our wonderful speakers here, Joseph Federico, he's had so many wonderful encounters that I figured, you know what? Wouldn't it be wonderful to share more of him with you guys, especially since you enjoyed him so much the first time? Hello, Lori. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time watching Divine Encounters, this is going to be an eye-opening conversation. Hopefully, will illuminate something around you in your life and assist you in realizing how much support you actually have, and how the divine presents itself in so many ways, and how it has so many different styles of assisting us on our path. Make sure you like and subscribe so that way you can get notified when I live stream. I am live streaming every Sunday and Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And so, you know, if you share this message with a friend or tag one person's name in the comment section below, you automatically enter to win a personal reading from me on Wednesday night. And I will send you a wonderful message and invite you on the program. But if you yourself have a fantastic story that you want to share with our audience, please email me. I want to know about it. Divine Encounters at e360tv.com. Yeah. So thank you everybody for being here. Hi, Jay. You can't hear me. Joseph, can you give me a thumbs up if you can actually hear me? Yes, you can. All right. So I do have audio. Lori, hace frío. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It was very cold last night. I was working at the election voting polls all day yesterday, and it was freezing. But I'm so glad I had coffee. I had lots of coffee yesterday. All right, so without further ado, let's bring up Joseph, and he'll introduce himself for you all tonight. So make sure you smash that heart button, that you are turning on your little bell, so that way we can bring Joseph up here, or you can throw in the emojis of hearts and candles for love and light. So let's bring him on. Hi, Joseph. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, some people can't hear us. I'm not too sure why, but we do have audio on our end. Can't wait to hear the live volume is up. I have no idea, Jay, how to even remedy that.
Oh, poor Jay.
I know. I don't know what's going on there. You know, there's been I think that Mercury retrograde shadow has been affecting a whole bunch of things as of late.
I believe it.
Yeah. I don't know about anybody else, but I know all of my stuff has been like all over the place. Joseph, tell everybody at home a little bit about who you are and what you're bringing to the table today.
Sure. So I am Joe Federico, or Joseph A. Federico formerly. I am the marketing maven. I specialize in social media marketing and PR globally. And tonight we're talking about my experiences in New Orleans and the Witch Queen of New Orleans, Marie Laveau. So I'm really excited and pumped to be back talking to you guys about my experiences and sharing love and light going forward.
I know, because you know it's interesting. You said the word witch, and I'm sure like right off the plate, there's gonna be so many people who are kind of like taken back by that. Like, whoa, oh, Lori Gianetta can hear. Okay, they're gonna be taken back by that, kind of like, what does that even? What does that mean? And why? How could I even benefit from such a word that has so much weight behind it, or so much stigma?
Exactly. Exactly. Which we all know, play on words, done on purpose, really is another name, especially I was in South Carolina about 3 or 4 weeks ago on a witch tour for Halloween, of course, around the holiday, the holiday season, the pre-holiday season.
Please invite me for your next witch tour, because
Oh, I will.
I will fly wherever you need me to go.
I will definitely invite you on my broomstick and we'll fly down together. But
Yes.
witch is another powerful name for powerful woman, in my opinion,
Mm.
and historically. So witch can be used with a negative connotation, but it really shouldn't be going forward.
Okay, good. So you guys hear that at home, right? So
But
embody
don't
that
worry.
witch energy, that powerful energy of being a woman, and go ahead and own it. I like it. I'll take it, honey.
Yes, yes.
So I like to start each episode with something, Joseph, that we call the good news. And it's basically just like a theme going into the rest of the week. So I hope you just hang tight for a minute. And we're going to bring that up now and maybe hear your thoughts on what you think it is. And then for you guys at home too, listen to this message with an open heart, and then see what parts are highlighted for you specifically. So to that I say, what's good? Okay, so oops, Angel Michael card is falling over. The angel blessing for the collective is success, so make sure you're claiming your angel blessings there in the comment section below. Today's card is the call of the muse. This is the number 31, if 31 is significant for you. And if you feel like it resonates to you to any capacity, you can go ahead and check Google for that. All right, 31, numerology. Here we go. Call of the muse. When you feel the call of the muse, you are being invited to create, to be the artist choreographing your life, serving on behalf of the great artist called the divine source. While the process feels intensely personal, your ego and self identification are, ironically, the most unnecessary parts of the equation. While you might think you own the magic of your creativity, can you truly say you're the source of the inspiration? Similar to the spirit of genius from card 29, imagine your creativity stemming from another spirit guide, the one that we call the muse. Such as the genius needs to partner with your intellect, so does the muse need to open your heart and let the magic flow through the intuition of your emotions. Stop seeing yourself as the center of the process and instead see yourself as a partner in the creative dance. Sometimes you might be inside the music and the feelings, the story and its expression. Other times, you observe from the sidelines, watching it all flow from an unknown yet deeply intimate source. Today, your muse is calling you to be a channel and allow the creative energy to flow through you. The energy of emotion is waiting to be given a voice, a name, a shape, or a color. Journal. Finish that writing project. Start something new. Paint, sing, dance, and don't worry where any of it lands. It has its own plans for you. Your muse knows where this is all meant to go. For you, the big magic is in the experience of answering the call. That is the message for today. And I got high from that. I just felt a whole bunch of energy just right there come into my crown chakra. I don't know if anybody else could feel that. Joseph, are there any words that are standing out from you from this muse call?
So I also am feeling a lot of energy around here right now, a lot, very kind of like a rush of the positivity. And the words that stood out were, because I am a writer by trade, finish your book. And this is why I'm actually on the show talking about my stories are relating to how my book project started in 2014 and 2018 in New Orleans. So this is kind of spooky in a very positive manner that I'm on the show talking about this tonight.
Oh, it's all synchronized. And I love these opening themes because they always wind up being in alignment with whatever the guest is speaking on. And so you guys at home know, like, I don't really talk to them before we get on the call. It's just kind of like, hey, what do you want to talk about? They'll give me like 2 sentences and then boom, like that's our entire
This was not
conversation.
planned, I swear on the goddess. This is not planned. We spoke for like 30 seconds like over the weekend, and here we are. So
It's perfect. And you know, when I heard about this muse card, I heard finish your tarot deck, finish your tarot deck. And so for those of you at home, I've been working on this thing for 2 years and I'm only short 4 cards. So don't yell at me. Don't come for me. I know how that sounds. I'm short 4 cards out of, the 72. And I'm just, I haven't done it. So I just got yelled at.
no worries.
Yeah. And I love that this has the Angel Michael success, remembering that the angels always want to work with us, but they respect our free will. So make sure you guys are claiming the angel blessing in that comment section below so that Angel Michael can also bless your muse inspirations with success. And then let us know in the comment section what resonated with you as in regards to this comment. Awesome. So thank you for that. And I did call my winner today. And if she comes, we'll see. But we did proclaim a winner for today, and we'll see if they arrive later.
Awesome.
All right. So let's jump into a divine experience, Joseph, where what we're going to do is a 1-minute energy healing. And for those of you at home, if you've never seen this program, go ahead and put the phone down now and place your hands palm face upward. And this is the receptive position. And it's good to hold an intention, but I feel like because of this particular muse card, that maybe we can clear obstructions that are blocking inspiration. I think that's a good intention that I'm going to set for clearing us today. So let's take a very honest assessment of where we are at energetically in this moment and then put it in the comment section below from 1 to 10. So where are you at, Joseph, from 1 to 10?
Well, today is Wednesday. It feels like a Monday. I've been very busy at work. So my energy before the show has been about maybe a 5 or 6. Right now,
Okay.
it's about a 9.5-ish right now.
I like it. I like the ish. I'm there too. I feel like I worked 16 hours yesterday with the polling place. And today I think I'm like 8 and 8.9. I think that's
Okay.
where I'm at.
Okay,
I'm gonna
fair
say.
enough.
Yeah. So it was a really long day yesterday. Judith is at a 7. Thank you for sharing, Judith.
I love
Okay, so we're gonna jump right into a divine experience now. I'm gonna call in the team. So just close your eyes, get centered, and let's begin. Okay, eyes closed. 30 seconds on the clock. Take a beautiful breath in. And let's just allow ourselves to breathe in the color blue and allow this blue energy to rise up and just to find any type of tension or resistance in the body. And as it permeates through there on your exhale, you're going to release any of that tension out back into the universe to be recycled. Breathing in, beautiful blue light, letting it fill you at every facet, every organ, every muscle, every tissue, every tendon, and letting it go and sending it back to the universe to be recycled and transmuted. On the next inhale, what we're going to do is focus that blue energy on the spinal cord. And you're going to start at the top of the spine and breathe it down, 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 down to the base of the spine and continue sending it down into the earth, down, 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 in through her many layers. And she's going to receive this energy from you. And she's going to very happily recycle, upgrade, and transmute this energy for you. And as you breathe in the next natural breath, bring it up with gratitude because you are now writing a new story in your life. And then bring that left and right palm to touch one another in front of your heart space. You can bow as a form of thank you to your practice. Namaste. And gently open your eyes. Please do not stand because you might be lightheaded. Very typical. And then let me know in the comment section below, where are you at energetically now from 1 to 10? And if you felt anything, temperature changes, pressure, tingling, electricity, or if you saw any colors or had any memories, put them in the comment section below. Whew. Joseph, where are you at now?
I raised back to a 10. I am back up and running.
Back up and running. Did anything specific come for you or from you or to you in that minute?
Nothing specifically. After we, bowed and opened our eyes, my hands got cold.
Mm.
I'm not sure what that means. That's never really happened to me before, but I do have cold hands right now.
Interesting. So typically, when I work with clients, that cold sensation is the elimination of something emotional. And the hands represent the past, but also holding on to harmony. The left hand represents the female passive side. So this is our receiving side when we're manifesting. If our palm chakras, our secondary chakras are not open, we don't manifest. So it's important to have that balance and that harmony in our hands. And then on the right side, this is the action side, the giving side. So we're taking and giving. And this is how money flows into our life and how inspiration flows into our life and how appropriate action flows into our life when these are nice and open and balanced. Think of them like the scales of justice. So it sounds
Sounds
like you
good.
released.
I need to release, so I definitely am on board for getting rid of some some
Hmm.
things.
I think we all are. Okay. Hi, Ladama. Thank you. And look, Jay went up to an
Oh, Jay
8.
went
Thank
to
you.
8. Oh, that's great, Jay.
Yeah, that because I think Jay started at a 4. So you jumped up 4 points. You see, I love doing this because it shows the importance of taking just literally 1 minute and recenter yourself, rebalance yourself, and come back to center. And if we were to do this every time that we got stressed throughout our day and just took that 1 minute, imagine how more functional.
So easy too. I mean, we just forget, we get so stuck in our ruts at times.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And that story replays and drains us.
I love
Jay,
it.
s- Jay says, I feel everything is going to be okay. That's the feeling that came over me. And I would call that feeling of peace or serenity. That's the label I would put on it. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Beautiful.
So we're going to be leading now into our supernatural story time here with Joseph. And so he's going to be sharing his experiences with New Orleans and a few other stories with us today. And get used to his wonderful face because I know he'll be back. So hold on to your hats. We're going to come right back with Joseph's supernatural story time. It's all yours, friend.
Thank you so much again for having me. And I love New Orleans. I've always loved New Orleans and the South. You may think, the South, but there's so much to learn from and about regarding America's South and its history. So 2018, two really quick stories, and then we're going to end with Marie Laveau really quickly. So the first night in New Orleans, we stayed at the Maison du Puy in the French Quarter. We were treated like royalty, but it's really about the energy. It's about, feeling at home and at peace with yourself and your surroundings in the city of New Orleans, the Crescent City, if you will. So we had been up since 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. My friend and I traveled together to New Orleans specifically to have a little catch up with each other, share each other's energy. If it's been a while, we travel to, we call it our city. And we had been going since 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, flying, going out to restaurants and really kind of mapping out what the week would look like. About 7 o'clock p.m. Central time, because they are an hour behind us. I forgot something in the room, and it was a wallet or some cash or something that I had to go by myself for some reason. And I left my best friend in the lobby of the Maison du Puy. I said, I'll be right back. No problem. I ran upstairs.
Famous last words.
Yeah, I know, right? I wasn't going to go there, but I'm glad you did to set the mood. So the floor was completely empty. Nobody was really in their rooms. I went to the room, grabbed whatever I was missing to go out for the night. It wasn't very long after that we came back because we were just exhausted. We couldn't push any further. We had a whole week ahead of us. And in between the double elevator doors, I think it was the third floor, popped a very tall gentleman in between the two shafts, and there was only half of him. and I have never seen a full body apparition ever in my life. I am an avid, I would say, ghost hunter, but it's really just energy. And it was New Orleans, and I've had experiences in there in the past, but nothing like this. So this gentleman looked like he had some money, 1800s, early, 1900s or so. And there was half of him. He was about 7, 8 feet tall. And he came through the wall, and he was smoky. It was like a chalky outline that I had seen. He walked, I'm getting chills. He walked down the hallway. He looked down at me. I looked up at him, and he kept on moving on his way. So that's story number one. Story number two is I had a book signing. I'm also an author by trade. I was at the 4 Points by French Quarter by, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank as to where it was. But anyway, it was the old French Opera House. And is the Courtyard Marriott in the French Quarter. And I had a book signing for my second book that came out. And because it is set in New Orleans, both in the 18th century and 2014 New Orleans. And I had finally made it to release this book on Bourbon Street. So my best friend, again, who's my friend, manager, and my muse, because that's the key word for tonight, is the muse card. And she had kept hearing this crackling noise. And she turned to me about 2 hours into the 4-hour event. And she said, "Do you hear that?" I said, I hear the people talking. I hear the hustle and bustle of the rain outside and people throwing beads. I mean, really crazy experience, but pretty chill for, one of our days in the French Quarter. So it kept happening. So I take my camera out and I try to take pictures if there were any orbs or anything I can catch on camera. Nothing, not a gosh darn thing. And I walk over to her side of the table. She said, "It stopped because you're here." And I said, okay, I kind of froze in my tracks. And I walked back a few steps. She said, it started up again because you left. I tried this 3 or 4 different times. And then I finally, before we left, I was setting up some events for the after party, to go for some cocktails, to celebrate, meet another person, to sell a book at the Backspace Bar, which I highly recommend, actually, in the French Quarter in New Orleans. And I heard a very faint crackling sound. Okay, long story short again, we go out to celebrate to some brew houses, so forth and so on. And we finally get an Uber. It took us about 30 minutes to get an Uber back to our hotel to change for the next part of the evening and to go out that night. I think this happened on purpose. Some kind of spirit guides or something were preventing us from taking another Uber or cab back to the hotel. This specific gentleman came within less than 2 minutes. It was raining. It was a Tuesday night in the French Quarter Central Time. It was our vacation, not the world's vacation. We had a great time with this guy telling us about where certain celebrities lived, where films were made in in New Orleans, in the Quarter, on Frenchman Street. And then he said, "How was your day?" So of course I'm all giddy, really excited about my day. I said, "I had a book signing." He said, "Where did you have it?" I said, "It was at the 4 Points, Sheridan." And he almost drove off the road, swear to gosh. And he said, "Well, what happened to you?" We didn't tell him anything. We didn't find him on Facebook, social media, share the story with anybody between just the two of us. I said, "Well, what do you think happened to me?" It's because I wanted to kind of egg him on and ask him what he thought happened to us at the hotel. He said, "Well, December 1919, after the last performance of Carmen, the hotel, which was then the epicenter of Creole society, it was the old French Opera House, had burned down." And where did the fire start? Right where my table was, where I was signing books for my book signing. We lost it. We were high-fiving, and my friend turns to me and says, "This is why you're in New Orleans this time, to get the experience and share the stories of those who were deceased and help them move on."
Oof, I got goosebumps everywhere.
I got goosebumps again. I swear to girl, that was one of the top experiences of my entire life of 38, then 37 years of my life. So that was a really interesting experience for me.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I
Goosebumps galore.
have goosebumps everywhere. If you guys have questions, throw them in the comment section below. But you know, it's so interesting because we don't realize sometimes why we have to be at certain places. Like we just feel like a call or like a nudge, if you will. Sometimes it's not a nudge because nudge is like I think is too subtle of a word. But sometimes it's a pull to okay, I have to an urgency to be somewhere, and then it like these synchronicities happen, and then it's like, whoa, I didn't even put all those things together until this outside person put it in a perspective or certain perspective for me.
It was definitely a cool experience, Shayna. So lo and behold, we came home the next day from New Orleans back. She went to Maryland. I'm back in New Jersey, where I currently reside. And I started putting the story together to tell the story of the 1919 fire at the old French Opera House.
Wow. And you felt like spirit was coming to you and like informing you about this information? Did it, if it did, how did it come?
It came of a feeling, like you had said, a feeling of urgency,
Mm.
a feeling of trying to tell the story properly, with a little imagination, of course, because that's how, of course, you sell books. We're all human. We like the story, we like the background, but it was very dark, scary feeling that I had to put this on paper.
Well, here's a question then for you.
Okay. Have I ever been scared?
Mm-hmm.
I have been scared in the past. Yes. I was not scared with my first story in New Orleans that I told a few minutes ago. Seeing that gentleman was kind of like old hat, like it should have happened. He looked like the Dupuis is actually like an old grain house, like an old grain mill from the 1800s, 1900s, and all the buildings are put together. And I didn't feel scared when I heard the crackling or the story about the old French Opera House burning down. It was more of the urgency and excitement to go forward with my passion, knowing that I had to put it down in a book.
That makes perfect sense. It because at that point you've already done the hardest thing, which was the leap of faith, the first step to go and do the experience. I feel like that's
Exactly.
typically the hardest part of the experience is committing to do it.
Exactly. And that's the hardest part. The hardest part is putting yourself through that commitment, going through that ring of fire, if you will, kind of
Mm-hmm.
taking that leap of faith, living your truth, really helping your soul where it needs to be and to, produce and be happy and be creative. And that's, very special to me. Again, really quickly, we talked about Laveau, 2014, rewind 4 years. I had gone into her shop in the French Quarter.
Can you tell people at home who Laveau is? Because I have a
Sure.
limited understanding of who she is as well.
Sure. So she again is the renowned voodoo, queen, witch queen of New Orleans, because she was a powerful woman. She was born in 1801, died in 1881, 80 years or so, and she was actually a devout Catholic. Nobody knows that she actually started off and was raised Catholic, as well as her children and her husband. She was a free woman of color, which was very unheard of at the time. New Orleans did treat their people of color a little bit better. I'm only doing that air quotes to not get political or to go into too much of the story. But she was a freed woman of color, and actually she was a hairdresser. So she had kind of a leg up. She spoke with all the white women in town, all the rich people, all the people needing assistance with their hair and makeup. She got all the gossip. So essentially, she made a business out of that, where she would hear everything and give the illusion, put off the illusion that she was everywhere at every moment in time. So she was smart. She was like an entrepreneur.
I think
From day
Shayna had a
one.
question about if this is the same character from American Horror Story, because I think that's where I've
Yes, it
heard the
is.
name too.
From Coven, my absolute favorite.
Okay.
My absolute favorite season of Horror Story. This is based off of the truth that was in the show. Yeah.
Okay.
So, so I went into her shop and I said, I have to go visit. Actually, I had visited her gravesite first. She is supposedly in St. Louis Cemetery #1. You can no longer defile her gravesite. You can't put X's on her grave anymore, but you can leave her. They kind of block off and cone off her supposed place, her resting place, you can drop off trinkets and 3 coins, and 3 is, a sign of the Trinity, sign of respect. You make a wish and she will grant it for you. So, and I did feel her. There was actually a black cat, not scary black cat, a very cute black cat in the cemetery when we went to go visit her. So that's my Laveau story of 2014.
Yeah, in black hats, they're gatekeepers. So people think that they're these like bad sign, bad omen
Definitely
kitties.
not a bad feeling at all. And again, I actually felt her. I was speaking with you, Miss Oracle, earlier before we came on the show to record live. I actually felt Marie around me, getting me prepared to have a great show with you and to share our stories.
Yes, and before we started, I got goosebumps again. I was feeling that too. So I think that's really super interesting. And yes, she was a character in American Horror Story. Now you said about these 3 items, and then you also said defiling the grave with the X's. What is that all about? What
So
is
the
with
X's are, before they really closed the cemetery, um, to people to come, because everybody would, of course, for instance, like, see the show of Horror Story and come to her grave and write 3 little X's, in red or black ink. That, first of all, is um, disrespectful to the dead and to the grave. But supposedly in folklore, if you give her the gifts, 3 coins or 3 pieces of something, like namely coins or pennies, heads up. And if you write 3 little X's while saying your spell or incantation, at her gravesite, she will grant you, your wish will come true. So, but now it has changed. They have redone her gravesite many times. I was actually there in 2014 when they were redoing. The cement was completely brand new white, and it was very goddess-like, very,
Hmm.
very ominous, but quite peaceful, if that makes sense. And they had, police tape and cones around, so you couldn't even get near her gravesite.
Wow. So they really protect. I guess with the advent of the show, she probably became like repopularized, and then people kind of just
Exactly.
came and did all kinds of things there. I'm
So I
sure.
snuck. That it's funny you said that. I snuck away from the tour group, and I knew I couldn't write on her grave, and I wouldn't anyway, because I feel that she's kind of the spirit guide for me as well,
Mm.
or a gatekeeper, or a wish, granter, or just some connection with her. But I snuck off, and I took 3 pennies from the hotel, and I did leave her a little gift. So
Nice. Yeah, because it probably just became garbage, like just too many people, pretty much.
exactly. So we should respect our dead, of course, but of
Yes.
course, a witch queen, a queen of New Orleans, needs her space. So
That's perfectly said. And I appreciate you sharing that story with us because in American Horror Story, she's scary.
and that's what sells, scary sells, a voodoo and hoodoo, and I do write about those black arts in my writing, because I feel that that's a balance, is, being a good person, but I have to get these stories out as well, if that makes sense. So they did write her um as a flawed character, because she was more humanized in the show as well.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Hello, Robert. Thanks for being here. And blessings
Hey,
to you
Robert,
too.
welcome.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions for Joseph here, please let him know what your questions are. Is there anything else you want to add to these stories? Maybe what if guidance or advice that you have for someone who's like, you know what? I'm drawn to this particular entity or spirit or energy of a place, but it's scurry. I don't want to go.
So here's the deal, and I am, which of course, that I am still, I wouldn't say struggling. I'm encouraging myself to be in touch with my own spirit guide, which I feel is St. Peter, which, is a gatekeeper as well, that we talked about last time a few months back, but not scary. And if you are drawn to a certain god or goddess or a deity that in popular culture may seem scary, like voodoo or hoodoo or witchcraft, take that out of your mind and do your own research. Um, there's plenty on Google and Facebook and YouTube watch videos about a certain person, get some books off of Amazon or Kindle or ebooks, and really research before you go forward so you can get your feet wet. You don't have to dive in with your entire body, and really proceed accordingly, because they certainly will help you out in the long run.
Yeah, and you know, that's fantastic advice. And to add to that, it's kind of like bad things don't happen to you because you are knowledgeable. People think that if I gain information, something bad is going to happen. Information is neutral, and so is power, and so is money. So it's kind of like what you do with that information that has the what intention you have behind why am I seeking this? Are you
Knowledge is power. Absolutely.
yes.
Knowledge has to be power. And you educate yourself. And then you decide if you grant enough information or receive enough information on said person, deity. I just saw something behind you on
I
your
believe that. I'll
and I
replay
actually
it at
feel
38
I feel two
820.
different spirits around me right now as well, kind of right here, and or three actually over here. So as we're speaking.
I feel it. The whole room just got hot on my end.
Yeah. My face got warm as well just now.
Hey, so we have visitors today.
Yeah.
I know there's some sensitive people back at home in your houses right now. Tap into that energy and let us know what you think it is.
But it's not scary. I think they're here to help us. We are the human forms of, light and spirit.
Yeah.
We're here to make a change. We're here to be positive, be creative, and we need to live our truth.
I am like so high right now. My whole energy went up to like a 12. I'm like all the way up
Mine's
here.
about a 13, and actually something in front of my camera is right here near me, kind of like in my face right now as well.
That's fun. And
Yeah.
and fear is basically just limited information, false expectations appearing real. More knowledge, more responsibility, and karma. More knowledge is more power. I love that. And it's very, very true. And I just agree. I just agree with it. Like, just period. Like, I just agree with that all the way around. The beings came because of the light energy. Thank you, Erica. I love that. And divine encounters, our tagline is create divine experiences. So I'm always very happy when the guests or the people at home are shifting or experiencing something, because this is, energy has no, it doesn't matter how far you are or how much in the future you're watching this, you could still be feeling this moment that we're feeling all right at right now. Right now, it has no time and it has no
Sure.
space.
No, we create our own time and space, and that's something to also research. It's not scary. It's a human experience. One more thing, actually, about Laveau
Yeah.
is in her later life, she actually helped bring people back to health who were suffering from yellow fever. So she was actually
Mm.
quite a positive influence on people's lives, of course, beyond um, having that connotation or that title of the witch queen. But she just was a smart woman who was an entrepreneur. She pivoted. She didn't only do hair. She had a few different streams of income. And people, especially white people and men, were afraid of that back then.
Of
Who would have
course.
thought that this freed woman of color can do so many things? And she was actually, again, she was Catholic, and she helped people that were suffering from yellow fever at the time.
And and through time and history, those labels just change and change and change. And I really don't like the negative connotation that some of these labels have, because I feel like they're indoctrinated by something that's bigger, like trying to snuff it out and assert their own power. I don't ever believe in this is bad and look at why we're good and still commit atrocities. Like, I'm
No,
not going to
exactly.
get too deep into that, but a lot of our standard religion practices right now, look where they come from. Look how they
And I
built their
think too,
influence.
to that point, exactly, that I think during COVID, like a lot of that has shifted. We're becoming more spiritual, not as religious. Our eyes are opening as to
Absolutely.
what the problems are in the world and how we can help our fellow, I wouldn't say man, our fellow human
Human.
being.
Yeah.
And actually, I just felt Laveau again. I kind of saw an outline of her in front of me as we're recording, like just now. So
I'm getting clearings as we're going through right now.
so
Like,
she's here. She's kind of like Yes. Speak more.
You're talking about me and I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break from our sponsor and we'll be right back, guys. Thank you. You're watching Divine Encounters. I'm your hostess. Welcome back, Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo. And we're here with Joseph Federico. But before we get back with him, remember, you can use my code Oracle7 on intentionpen.com and get your own intention pen with your set and created by a Reiki master just for you. So that way you can go ahead and set goals with stronger intention. All right, Joseph, you are back on. And I would like for us to play a little game that we call the Apollo games. And don't be asking Marie Laveau for any answers because that's cheating. All right. So she needs to make sure that she doesn't tell you. I feel like there's someone laughing behind me now after saying that. So if you guys are around anyone in your house, grab the kids, grab the husband, grab the wife. We're going to test your intuition with the Apollo games. There's so much energy coming in. Whew. So the question today is, where's my brain right now? Okay, the question is, what am I about to reveal? Here's the options. Put your answer in the comment section below. Come on, words.
What am I about to reveal? 17th century Artemis fountain. 7th century Apollo statue. Modern Hecate photo. The moon in the sky.
Okay, so it was a 17th century Artemis fountain, because that lady says things weird. A 7th century Apollo statue, a Hecate photo, not Hecate, whatever it was, or a picture of the actual moon in the actual sky. So go ahead and put that comment in the comment section below now. And if you win, you're going to get from me a social distancing high five. You're the man of the hour, so you get to go first.
I was going to say the Hecate was where my intuition was kind of leading towards.
All right, so we're going with Hecate on that. Okay, and then we have Miss Erica gonna need a new pen. You can either get a new pen, or if you go to intentionpen.com, you can actually buy a refill cartridge, unless you want to set a new intention. And Erica says Apollo statue. Judith says 7th century Apollo statue. And Cindy LeBlanc, she's also going with the Apollo statue. So you're outnumbered here.
I know.
So do you feel like this is still your final answer?
I am sticking to my guns.
Okay. And Robert says the first one, Apollo statue. Apollo statue was second. First one was 17th century Artemis fountain, Robert. And Shayna is going with the photo 2 of Hecate. All right. So let's see what the answer is. Yeah.
What am I about to reveal? 17th century Artemis fountain. 7th century Apollo statue. Modern Hecate photo. The moon in the sky.
This is the 17th century Artemis fountain in Tivoli, Italy, and it is representing Lady Artemis of 1,000 breasts, who represents fertility. And when I saw this fountain, I nearly just broke down into tears because it was just like, it was just wow. Like for me, it was just like so wow. But if you got it that at home and you got it right, high five for you. Hashtag replay winner. Joseph, I'm revoking your high five. You get no high five today.
Oh no.
But it's good. And Eric is shouting out Robert. Technically, Robert got it because he said the first one. So yeah. And Shayna says that is beautiful, and she got the drum roll. That shows where my focus is. It's scattered at the moment. I love it. I love it. So good job, everybody. There's no right or wrong here. This is about just fine-tuning your gifts. And if you like fine-tuning your gifts, please join me and the 34.5 thousand other people on my TikTok. The Oracle of Apollo, I put up daily empath and psychic development works on there. So go ahead there and follow. Yes. All right. So we're going to be jumping in to the next thing. But before we jump into the midweek collective energy check-in, where we check what the forecast is for the rest of the week, Joseph, you have been such a great guest. Why don't you let the people know at home where they can get a hold of you and what you have to offer?
Sure. Thank you so much. So again, I am the Marketing Maven, and you may find me on Instagram at Joseph A. Federico. You may find me on my website, josephafederico.com. You may contact me directly at 973-289-3517 for all of your social media marketing needs. I am literally your marketing maven.
Literally. Love it. And where can you have books out? So where can they purchase said books?
Sure. So the first book I actually wrote with my partner of over 16 years is currently found on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. It is called Galloway Township, published by Arcadia Publishing. That's about a town in South Jersey from the 18th century to the 1990s is where the history stopped for that publication. And if you would like to read more about New Orleans and get a paperback copy of Voodoo Juice, you may contact me directly, 973-289-3517.
Thank you. And as you were giving yourself a plug there, I don't know if you saw my camera. It decided to like move. The camera only does that when something's in front of it. The autofocus changes, and there was no reason for that autofocus that it just did right there.
Maybe
so
it's Laveau or...
She's trying to get her screen time.
Yeah, let's go with that.
She's getting her screen time today. All right, Joseph, I'm going to put you in the back. You can Netflix and chill until I bring you back up here, and then you can give us your thoughts on the midweek collective.
I'm on it. Thank you.
All right. Okay, ladies and gents. Whew. You may need that info. Okay. Joseph, if you can type your phone number, and then I will copy and paste it into the comment section. All right, we're going to jump into the midweek collective energy check-in. You guys can hit up Joseph for any of those wonderful, fantastic things that he just stated. And these 3 cards are going to be what you need to know, grow, and let go. And I hope I can speak because there is a lot of energy happening here. The 3rd card will be your power animal that's assisting you at this time. You're going to be receiving a message from heaven, as well as an angel blessing card here as well. All right, so here we go to the midweek collective.
There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me.
All righty, so the first card of the evening we have, there is like really a lot of energy here, more than usual. And there's Queen of Earth, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. This card, make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with the challenges in a kind and understanding manner. And it's interesting because the Queen of Earth, she is like she is a very commanding queen. I would even say, since the word of the day was muse and witch, I would say she's probably one of those, someone who just has a lot of power behind them, because Earth is represented by the wand suit, and wands is an action energy of a fire, a passion, a drive. So this is saying you can go ahead and break through barriers, I feel like, and still be thought of as warm. Sometimes we think as women, we need to turn cold in order to accomplish something or to move through something, or make ourselves small in order to get assistance. But when we take our own staff, we make our own light, we get our own way, it empowers ourselves, and it makes us sensible, intelligent, and it allows us to live our best life. So this is what you need to know. Make time for the people around you at this moment. Be sensible. So that means don't just give and give and give, learn to receive and take and deal with the challenges, but be understanding as well that how people are approaching you or how you're approaching people may not always match. And we have to understand that. So if somebody approaches you with something you don't like, you have to be understanding that, okay, this person doesn't like it. And although it affects me because they don't like it, I have to also honor them. All right, so let's go into the next card. So be understanding here is basically the overall theme for that. Easy does it. Again, with a sensible approach, we have easy does it. The goddess here is Unag. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. So what's coming is coming. I feel like I want to say divine timing. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Okay, before I even got to that. Divine timing is here. We have like a dove right here coming up to her face. It's on her face. It has come up to her face. This is a divine merging with humanity. So easy does it. So what's coming is coming. Don't burn yourself out. Don't overdo it. Don't put 1,000 other things on your plate just because you need it to happen. Work on your energy. Work on your being. Prosperity lies ahead. Look at this, guys. These cards are perfectly in alignment. Prosperity lies ahead with the new moon in Taurus. So with the new moon energy, is you see this little sliver. This is how much work we've done. And all of this is still blank. So it's all potential at this moment, but with tenacity, with work, like the Queen of Earth. The Queen of Earth is energy that says you can have everything you want and more, but you do have to put in the work in. You putting the work in does not mean overload yourself, burn yourself out, give unconditionally until you are nothing left. It is about focusing your energy, letting go of distractions, not letting other people steal your joy, which is the most important thing, not letting fear diminish you, because that's you giving power to illusions when we have fear. Prosperity line ahead, speak expectantly, move forward in a knowing manner that something's going to happen. And remember that every day, even if you're giving 1% extra, that 1% duplicates. Okay. So by the end of the year, you have 365 more percent. It duplicates and replicates itself within everything and everybody. Okay. And then we have here, that was your know, grow, and let go. So letting go of the fears. Here's the animal that's assisting us. And Joseph said earlier it was a cat, and it wasn't a creepy cat, and it was a very kind cat. So the energy here is cat. I love this. Cat energy teaches us to be relaxed and independent. Animals teach us different medicines. So cats are very introverted and they're self-sustained. This is why they want to be pet whenever they want to be pet. But if learn from your cat, okay? Allow yourself to relax yourself and allow yourself to look within and also to do things for yourself, like the Queen of Earth. Be independent. Don't speak to other people from a victimhood mentality. When we're speaking about ourselves or we're telling other people's stories, speaking from a victimhood mentality, and that means I have no choice, I have no power, I have no mattering to say, is diminishing your power, and you're ultimately solidifying an old emotion, and then you're also stacking it with a new emotion. So each time you're just giving yourself disbelief, doubt, minimizing yourself, and you're taking your own power away. So be like the Queen of Earth, be like this kitty, and be your best version of yourself. And we have the message from heaven, if you so need one, is there is no time where I am. There is only time on earth. Time is only on earth. And this is great because when I see people who have crossed over, a lot of times your loved ones come to me and they don't, like, let's say grandma or grandpop is 105 when they died. They come to me 30 years old. When a baby dies, this is sorrowful. They come to me 15 years old. So there is no time because these loved ones who have crossed over are continuously learning through you, through your actions, through your healings, and they're continuously expanding. So that time that you feel like you've wasted or missed or resented or guilted yourself about, let it go because they are still growing. So we need to remember and honor that. And then we finally have here, look at that. Forgiveness, that guilt, shame, everything I just talked about, time related, It's time to forgive yourself for that. It's time to forgive yourself for making yourself small, for repeating the stories you didn't know better to not repeat. And then Angel Michael is blessing you with courage here. I don't know what's up with my camera. It has totally vanished, Michael. Blessing you with courage to speak the truth about who you are. Speak yourself into tomorrow. I know today, hold on, let's see if I reset that. Nope, but there's an Archangel Michael card there. I'm having a magic trick moment where it's not showing up on the second camera at all for some reason. But I know today I told myself tomorrow morning I will become a influencer. And that is my goal moving forward. And that's the story I'm speaking forward from here on out. I'm putting that title into my mouth, into my soul, into my spirit. So have courage to write your new story of your life, to step into that and be brave. But most importantly, you can do it as the Queen of Earth. You have everything you need inside of you. Go forward, prospered with love, sensibility, understanding, and ask your spirit guides, Angel Daniel as well, and Angel Michael for help. Oh, there he popped up. All right. So I hope that serves you all. Let's bring Joseph back up here. All right, Joseph. How did you feel about those cards? Anything stand out for you? Queen of Earth. We got the Easy Does It, the Cat card, and Prosperity Lies Ahead.
The first card you had pulled really spoke to me as we're entering the holiday season, as we're seeing family members we may have not seen in a while because of COVID-19, so forth and so on. To be kind and to let things just roll. That really spoke to me. That really spoke to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And it's like every day we have the opportunity to become more of who we want to become, and whatever we're repeating is who we become. Period. That's what I really feel.
Absolutely. I believe it too.
And it's like, if you want to sit here and say, woe is me, I had that aspect in my life a long time ago. And what that did was it forced me to make time for healing those wounds. So it's like what we're doing is that we're actually scarring ourselves, right? We're scratching the mirror, and we're creating an illusion or a distorted sense of self when that's happening.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of answers here today. You guys commented a lot for these here. Yeah. Hi, Rick. Do you want to close? We're going to be closing in 2 minutes. Is there any message you want to give out there, or anything you want to drop off today? Joseph leaving the TV today.
I think I will say this: go forward with light and love, and have the gumption and have the mindset that you can do anything and it will come to fruition.
Yes. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it can't happen or is not going to happen. And people want to know the names of your books. So if you can type that in the comment section, we'll put it in there for
Sure.
Cindy LeBlanc wants to
I
know.
will do that right now.
All right. Thank you so much. Joseph, I'm going to pop you in the back. Thank you again for being here. So very grateful for you.
Well, thank you so much.
So give Joseph your hearts and your time, your hearts and your love and your emojis. He's going to be coming back the next few months. So I hope you guys are enjoying him. I think this will be a fun little different thing that we're doing here on Divine Encounters. And I hope that you guys join me Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Please tell a friend about us. Be the blessing that you wish to see in the world. And sharing this is absolutely sharing something that you might not even know someone else needs to hear or know that it exists. Maybe they just need an energy clearing. Something as simple as that. Help someone else shift by giving them this content, this information. Speak into the universe who you want to become, because I know I am. Set your intention strongly, because there is always a path for healing everything. And even speaking of healing everything, the day before yesterday, I went running. And if you guys know, I was actually exercise intolerant for 8 years. So that was the first time I actually ran in 8 years where I physically was able to do it. Something the doctor said I could never do again. And here I am today. Everything that they said, I'm proving wrong. Day in and day out, I'm proving them wrong. Prove them wrong. All those people who say you can't, prove them wrong. You know you can. The divine is with you. And may you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Ciao.
Divine encounters, a lot of light. Divine.